Yes.
Now. Good afternoon. This is Linda Schell with Writers on the Air Afterwards, and today we're going to interview Jim Asher. He's a former English teacher, and he's a classically trained pianist. He's composed and performed many performances for local community theaters. And Jim, you're here on vacation, and we welcome you today. And we're very privileged that you came in. Now, you are a expert on Emily Dickinson's second
it's
cousin.
Emily Dickinson's third cousin,
Oh,
twice
excuse
removed.
me. Okay, thank
At
you
her
for that
request.
correction. At her request?
Yeah, his name is Emmett Lee Dickinson.
Okay.
But I'm going to let you in on a secret as long as you promise not to tell anyone. There is no such person as Emmett Lee Dickinson. I made him up.
Oh.
But the world thinks he's real.
Okay.
And his poetry inspired her poetry.
Uh-huh.
So for each one of his poems came one of hers.
Okay, now I'm getting into this.
Yes.
And what parallel universe do you
Well, I wrote or published two books. They're called Great American Poems Repoemed.
All right.
And they are parodies.
Would you put that up so Emma and the audience can see? Because they can't see it from here.
They're parodies, mainly of Emily Dickinson, but also E.E. Cummings and Robert Frost.
Oh,
And
okay.
each book, there's two volumes. Each book has, I don't know, about 35 poems of Emily Dickinson's and her third cousin, Emmett Lee.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, I probably have over 700 of them. I can't stop. I just keep writing parodies of Emily Dickinson's poetry.
And you can't stop. Maybe you're her reincarnated.
It's possible.
Do you ever think of goofy, silly things like that?
I think of an awful lot of goofy, silly things. Yeah.
You can't stop. Okay. All right. Well, I'm really appreciative that you're here. I have to say something real quick. I've been reading about Charles Dickens. And was he a mean man or what?
Charles Dickens?
He was a very mean man. So sometimes you learn crazy things about these famous people.
I mean, it's possible. I'll admit I know more about Dickinson than Dickens, but he very well could have been a mean man.
Yeah. But what about Emily? Do you think she was a mean lady?
No, I don't think so.
She was very kind.
Yes. I mean, I think that she's got a little bit of a reputation about being a recluse, but people think that she probably hid in her room and dressed in white all the time, and that was more so toward later life, but she wasn't quite like that her whole life.
She was never married, was she?
No, she wasn't.
Okay. She just was she wealthy that she was able to write?
Well, her family was rather well-to-do. Her father started Amherst College.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then her brother became a position there, a high administrative position there. And so they were quite well known around the town and well-to-do. And the home where she grew up, at one point they did move away, but they moved back later in life. And so most of her life she was there at the homestead. And that became the Emily Dickinson Museum in Amherst, Massachusetts.
And we want to remind the folks to get the book Great American Poems Repoemed.
Right.
That makes things a little
clearer.
more clear. By Jim Asher, Asher. And thank you for being with us today. We really appreciate it. And Jim, I really appreciate talking to you. You were a lot of fun today.
All right, thanks.
You're
it's fun to be
welcome.
here.